guys, it's Gamer Ahmer here. So today I have another update video in my series where I take you along with me on my collecting journey, where I try and grow my massive video game collection, and we're actually focusing on a full Super Nintendo set. So I'm going for a full North American Super Nintendo set, so over 720 some games we are trying to get, and we're trying to do so without paying top dollar for these items and ultimately trying to get most of it for free. So let's go ahead and check out this week. So we actually found some video game items and another little bonus item at the end here I'll go ahead and talk about. We found all of this stuff at the Toy Exchange, which is located in Mount Airy, Maryland. So if you guys are ever in the area, I highly recommend checking out this toy store, as they have a lot more than just toys. So this is a place that I have been meaning to actually check out for quite some time, as I have seen them on Instagram and other social media sites, and I always see amazing pictures, tons of vintage Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle items. I always see this cool stuff, and I have just been meaning to actually go to this location and kind of check it out. Now, I was a bit on kind of a time constraint while I was here, but I had plenty of time to check out this store, and I'll definitely have to come back and kind of check it out a little bit more, as they had tons of video game items and just tons of stuff kind of tucked away. So this place is actually really cool, as they have tons of these kind of like planes and toys and everything else hanging from the ceiling. They have one entire side that's kind of dedicated to a lot of trucks and vehicles and cars and things like that. So just a bunch of stuff that I don't really collect for, but it's really cool to see just so much stuff. And it looked like in the back while I was there, they were just still kind of sorting through their stock, as they're constantly buying toy lots and game lots and just anything and everything. So their inventory does change pretty regularly. And as I was talking to one of the employees there, he was just so helpful and so knowledgeable about everything. And I spotted something at the end that I was most excited for. So as I was kind of there, you walk in, you see like the whole entire counter space on the left side, and that side kind of has all of the video game items. So of course I'm always looking for Super Nintendo right now, but I did see tons of other Nintendo items. So I saw the Nintendo 64, they even had a little selection of GameCube games. They had tons of Sega Genesis games as well. So I did see some Sega stuff, some PlayStation, some Xbox. Some of the stuff I definitely want to go back and kind of dig through a little bit, as it looks like some of that stuff was kind of like hidden and kind of out of sight. So I would love to kind of go through that and see what I can actually find next time I go there. But I did see tons of NES, Nintendo cartridges, and of course SNES, so Super Nintendo cartridges. So I definitely had a blast looking through all of the games. But before we get to those, I just want to kind of shout out some of the other items that I saw. So of course, as I'm walking around, I noticed that there was a theme with Mars attacks. So I saw this really cool, kind of like big life-size character from Mars Attacks. They had tons of these toys, these little figures, these action figures, and not just like horror stuff. They had some Toy Story stuff. They just had a mixture of a little bit of everything. I saw Star Wars, I saw Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, tons of Transformers, Power Rangers, literally the list goes on. So this is definitely a cool place to check out. And of course, for this set here that I'm trying to go for, I found some pretty awesome games just to kind of add to this list here, as I'm kind of highlighting and going through all of the games that I actually have in my collection now, and some of the ones that I am still yet to find in all of this. So last week we added a couple games to the count here, and we left off with 253 games. So we made it over the 250 mark, so we'll just have to kind of keep trucking along here. But first up, we actually have this game, which I thought was pretty cool. It was pretty inexpensive. So here we have Warp Speed. So this one has a very clean label, and it looks like a pretty decent copy of this game. So this one right here is kind of like a flight simulator. So this is one of those like space flight simulator games where you pretty much have like these 3D style graphics. And this is actually really cool because there is kind of this like combat feel. You're kind of like close up in the action. So this one right here was one that I desperately needed to kind of cross off this list of going for these Super Nintendo games, trying to find some of the ones that maybe I'll enjoy a little bit, and then always looking for the deals. But if it has a pretty clean label and it looks pretty decent, then I usually will pick them up for a decent price. And then we have this game right here, which is one that I don't really know too much about, but it actually looked pretty interesting. We have this Liberty or Death. So this is kind of like a historical style game, and it has that turn-based strategy with this historical aspect. So of course we have some of the presidents, it looks like on the front right there, and it looks like it's kind of based in the American Revolution. So this is one of those historical simulation style games, these kind of strategy based as well. So this one looked pretty interesting. This one was one of the more expensive games that I got in this entire lot here. And then this one was definitely a cool one to see, as I don't see it very often at the game stores near me. So that's pretty much what I was going for. Trying to find things that I just don't see out and about. Now they did have tons of other Super Nintendo games, so I'll definitely have to pop back by once we get some more money in this little game fund here, so that we could go out hunting for more games. And then we have this game, which actually looks pretty interesting and a lot of fun. This one is called Super Widget. So this one right here, you have these kind of like cartoon style characters. We have this platform game, and of course you play as this character Widget. You do have a little sidekick called Mega Brain, and of course you have to save Earth from the aliens, and you pretty much do so by collecting coins. And these coins are pretty important because they do kind of give you different power-ups, extra lives, kind of help you out in this like better form as you're playing through the game. So it's actually more of like a little strategic style platforming game that kind of helps you out as you go along and play this game. This one also had a pretty clean label as well. So I was pretty excited to find those three games. Now, as I was moving around, I just saw so much cool stuff. I saw some Rugrats toys as well, so they did have some Nickelodeon, some cheaper toys kind of in these little bins. I always like sorting through the bins because they're pretty interesting. They had like little activity sets along the back where they had Pee-wee's Playhouse, so that was pretty interesting to see. They even had some ET games and little activity sets. So it was just pretty neat seeing different little things. And something that I actually spotted kind of along the floor, and I immediately saw a couple characters on it, so I thought it was really cool. This right here is what I spotted. So this is an original shopping bag from back in the day at Montgomery Ward, which isn't even around anymore. This is for the Go-Go Power Rangers. This whole little thing that they did when they released so many different toys, figures, anything and everything Power Rangers. It was literally everywhere. So this is dated from 1994, and this is just so cool to see. I just love this stuff. So we just have a basic bag right here, but it has all of these color images of these characters. So of course you have all of the villains on this side. You have Putty Patrol, you have Babu, Goldar, just so many different little characters on here, and the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers logo. Just seeing Montgomery Ward with this Go-Go Power Rangers kind of thing is just so cool. And then of course this side right here, we have the same thing. This is a back to school sale. So Montgomery Ward had this back in the day. And then of course we have all of these different Rangers. So of course you see the logo front and center, and then you see all of the different ones. You see Red Ranger Jason, Blue Ranger Billy, of course it names all of them, Pink Ranger Kimberly, and we just have all of the characters. And then the cool thing that we noticed too is actually on the sides, there's even more. So this thing is definitely pretty sweet. So this is actually really cool. So it has Alpha 5, Megazord is on here, and then it kind of shows you what they turn into. It has this whole entire little like cut here dotted line, And that's actually how you turn this into something. So this says right here, hey kids, you can Mighty Morph this bag into your very own Power Rangers book cover. Follow dotted lines to cut out book cover from bag, fold top and bottom the size of book, fold sides to create sleeves, and insert book into sleeves. And then of course on this side of the bag we have this right here. So this is just so cool. I just love how it has this as well. So this is just amazing. All the artwork on here. I almost missed this bag, so I'll definitely have to get this thing like framed up and preserved. That way I don't ruin it. Definitely don't want to cut it out into the book cover, as I kind of want to display this and I don't want this to get all damaged, because it's just crazy to find this cool stuff. And this is exactly what the Toy Exchange has, just random cool things like this. So I was definitely thrilled to go in there and not only see all of this Mars Attack stuff, but video games, vintage toy lines, little memorabilia, just literally anything and everything. I definitely had a blast, and I really like to thank them as well because they were just so nice while I was there. So I'll definitely have to get some more stuff together and kind of head out that way, just spend a little bit more time this time, and hopefully be able to add more to my Super Nintendo count. We left off with 253, now we're at 3 more, so we have 256. So we'll definitely have to see what I hit in the upcoming weeks, and hopefully really start making some motion with this Super Nintendo collection and knock tons out of the way. So let me know in the comments below what your favorite was. Was it these Super Nintendo games? Did you like this Mighty Morphin Power Ranger bag that actually turns into a book cover? So let me know in the comments below, and of course, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Go ahead and check out my other videos and stay tuned for more.